Well, I am, depending on who you ask, I'm Abby Waner or Abby Bartolotta. I am most certainly a Colorado native. You know, my path has really gone from A to Z through athletics, now into the business world, and now as a parent. But really, when I think about who I am, it's somebody who is deeply passionate about where I come from and the people who are part of my story, and being able to now be an advocate for those that come after me and have come after me. My formalized career as an athlete, I tell people it ended the day that I walked away from the New York Liberty, but I kept the shorts. So if you keep the gear, then surely you played. So I had a short stint in the WNBA for a few weeks, which, you know what, the fact that it ended with my name not getting called on the final roster, it's okay. It wasn't meant to be. I worked really hard to get there. My goal as a young girl was to play in the NBA. And that's because we didn't really have visibility into women's sports when I was young. And you know what? I feel pretty complete that I was able to hear my name get called in the WNBA draft and be on the court with some of the best athletes to ever have played the game. It was surely disappointing at the time. And when I think back to my career, that was a really big defeat. But I think in the moments you see it as that, and it takes decades sometimes until you can really see the positives of events like that. I guess working backwards, I was fortunate enough to play in Cameron Indoor Stadium, which no matter your opinion on the shade of blue, you must visit and see. Again, some very life-changing times and also some very disappointing times. But being able to say that I played in a national championship game is something I'm really proud of. We lost in overtime in that championship game, but there were lessons that came out of that too. But just an incredible experience to be on that stage. And again, you don't really know what's happening when you're in it. So I feel really fortunate that I can look back now and find appreciation in moments that I maybe didn't at the time. But really, when I think back on my career and what brings me the most joy and fulfillment is when I think about my high school team. I had a very successful club team, and we were very good, and some of the best players I've ever played with were part of that club team. But it was my time in high school that, if I could replicate that and do all that over again, I would do it in a heartbeat. Playing at Thunder Ridge High School, was one of the best times of my entire life, and I know that now. My teammates, my coaches, the CHSAA staff, the people who made it happen for us, it was a really incredible run. My time at Thunder Ridge, I think now that I have the lens of looking backwards, I can realize just how special that was and how good our teams were, and it wasn't just me by any stretch. If we didn't have one of those pieces of the women on that team, it would have been very different. And that includes the players that didn't get as much playing time as the starters did because we were playing against them every day in practice, and without them, we wouldn't have had the success that we did on the court. So anyway, when I think about my career, it's really the years at Thunder Ridge that stick out. I think the end goal for my team was to be the very best that we could be, and we were stacked. So if we weren't the state champions at the end of the year, then we did not reach our potential. I tell people this when they ask about my high school team. Early on, it was my sister was part of that, and she went on to become a star at CU and then at Duke when she transferred with me. After that first year, we had Emmy Fox and myself, who both played USA basketball and went on to play major conference basketball. She had an incredible career at Minnesota, went on to play professionally. Far longer professional career than I ever had. She was incredible. My dad he was drafted by the New York Yankees to play baseball. He played in the minor league for them, and he came from La Junta. So I really respect his path and his story. And one thing that he taught me when I was young was the second you walk in that gym, you sit down, you lace up your shoes, you tuck your jersey in, and you have your ball ready to go. Because you never want to take for granted the time that you have on that court. You never know who's watching, and you never know when that time's going to come to an end. So as long as I can instill some of those values in these players, I think it can at least light a fire in some of the things that are innately there for those players. When I got the call that I was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, it caught me by complete surprise. To be in this company is still mind-blowing to me. What I want from it is purely to inspire younger girls, including my own. So if there's one girl that decides to pick up a basketball and shoot a hoop or try out for a team because of me, then that would be worth it.